Senator Sessions.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for your leadership, and I believe you've set up some rules for the conducting of this hearing that are consistent with past hearings, and I believe will allow us to do our work together, and I've enjoyed working with you on this process. I hope this will be viewed as the best hearing this committee's ever had. Why not? We should seek that. So I join Chairman Leahy, Judge Sotomayor, in welcoming you here today, and it marks an important milestone in your life. I know your family is proud, and rightly so, and it's a pleasure to have them with us today. I expect this hearing and resulting debate will be characterized by a respectful tone, a discussion of serious issues, a thoughtful dialogue, and maybe some disagreements. But we've worked hard to do that, set that tone from the beginning. I've been an active litigator in federal courts. I've tried cases as a federal prosecutor and as Attorney General of Alabama. The Constitution and our great heritage of law I care deeply about. They are the foundation of our liberty and our prosperity, and this nomination is critical for two important reasons. First, justices on the Supreme Court have great responsibility, hold enormous power, and have a lifetime appointment. Just 5 members can declare the meaning of our Constitution, bending or changing its meaning from what the people intended. Second, this hearing is important because I believe our legal system is at a dangerous crossroads. Down one path is the traditional American system, so admired around the world, where judges impartially apply the law to the facts without regard to personal views. This is the compassionate system because it's the fair system. In the American legal system, courts do not make law or set policy, because allowing unelected officials to make law would strike at the heart of our democracy. Here, judges take an oath to administer justice impartially. That oath reads, "I do solemnly swear that I will administer justice without respect to persons and do equal right to the rich and the poor, and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge and perform all the duties incumbent upon me under the Constitution and laws of the United States, so help me God." These principles give the traditional system its moral authority, which is why Americans respect and accept the ruling of courts even when they disagree. Indeed, our legal system is based on a firm belief in an ordered universe and objective truth. The trial is the process by which the impartial and wise judge guides us to truth. Down the other path lies a brave new world where words have no true meaning and judges are free to decide what facts they choose to see. In this world, a judge is free to push his or her own political or social agenda. I reject that view, and Americans reject that view. We have seen federal judges force their political and social agenda on the nation, dictating that the words "under God" be removed from the Pledge of Allegiance and barring students from even private, even silent prayer in schools. Judges have dismissed the people's right to their property, saying the government can take a person's home for the purpose of developing a private shopping center. Judges have, contrary to long-standing rules of war, created a right for terrorists captured on a foreign battlefield to sue the United States government in our own country. Judges have cited foreign laws, world opinion, and a United Nations resolution to determine that a state death penalty law was unconstitutional. I'm afraid our system will only be further corrupted, I have to say, as a result of President Obama's views that in tough cases, the critical ingredient for a judge is, quote, "the depth and breadth of one's empathy," close quote, as well as his words, quote, "their broader vision of what America should be." Like the American people, I have watched this process for a number of years, and I fear that this empathy standard is another step down the road to a liberal, activist, results-oriented, relativistic world where laws lose their fixed meaning, unelected judges set policy, Americans are seen as members of separate groups rather than as simply Americans, where the constitutional limits on government power are ignored when politicians want to buy out private companies. So we've reached a fork in the road, I think, and there are stark differences. I want to be clear. I will not vote for, and no senator should vote for, an individual nominated by any president who is not fully committed to fairness and impartiality toward every person who appears before them. I will not vote for, and no senator should vote for, an individual nominated by any president who believes it is acceptable for a judge to allow their personal background, gender, prejudices, or sympathies to sway their decision in favor of or against parties before the court. In my view, such a philosophy is disqualifying. Such an approach to judging means that the umpire calling the game is not neutral, but instead feels empowered to favor one team over another. Call it empathy, call it prejudice, or call it sympathy, but whatever it is, it's not law. In truth, it's more akin to politics, and politics has no place in the courtroom. Some will respond, Judge Sotomayor would never say it's acceptable for a judge to display prejudice in a case. But I regret to say, Judge, that some of your statements that I'll outline seem to say that clearly.